Good morning and welcome to today's webinar, Revenue, Reach, and Running, a presentation of the National Alliance for Youth Sports. My name is Kate Dilworth. I'm the Marketing Director for NAYS, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. If you have questions or comments throughout the webinar, just type those into your GoToWebinar panel, and I can relay those to our speaker at the end. We'll also be recording today's webinar, so it will be available for download on our website. At this time, I'd like to introduce Casey Lake, who is our presenter today, and she is the director of the Ready, Set, Run Youth Running Program. Casey?
Thanks, Kate. As Kate mentioned, the title of today's presentation is Revenue, Reach, and Running, which are three of the major benefits of bringing Ready, Set, Run into your community. So we're going to be going over an overview of NAYS, which is as Kate mentioned, the mother organization that Ready, Set, Run operates under, the start of Ready, Set, Run, the details of the program, the benefits of having it in your community, and then I'll open it up and answer any questions at the very end. So if you have them along the way, please just type them in, and then I'll get to them at the end, and we can do a little question-answer session. So we're encouraging you to be a part of something that's cutting edge, created, backed, and approved by an accredited organization. And that's really one of the neatest parts of Ready, Set, Run is that it is a newer program, but it's got the backing, it's got the support, and it's got the approval of such an outstanding organization. And I know some of you are familiar with NAYS and some are just getting familiar with NAYS, so just a really brief overview. We are the nation's leading advocate for safe and healthy sports for kids, and we've been doing it since 1980. It all started back then when our current CEO started thinking that there needed to be something added to the youth sport element. We were having parents who were arm twisted into coaching who had no formal training, and came up with the idea of having VHS tapes that would teach coaches not only how to deal with kids, but sport-specific training that would equip them to make the whole youth sport experience more positive for kids, more positive for coaches, and more positive for the coordinators who were overseeing it. And since then, the mission has become to affect all aspects of the youth sport experience. So not only coaches, but administrators, professionals, parents, and then youth development as well. So equipping with the kids with the tools they need when they're younger so that they can be more successful and enjoy the experience more by the time they're a little bit older. We've moved to online training, added many different sports into the mix, added an international arm into the organization. So it's grown, and it's just such a great organization focused on the end user, which is kids. That said, during a meeting in the NAYS boardroom, Ready, Set, Run started out as an idea, and we were just kind of brainstorming what could we be bringing to and we polled some of our members and took some surveys, and what we came up with was that coordinators were looking for something that was turnkey, low cost, and would expand their market. And that's really what started Ready, Set, Run. We took a temperature of what was going on in the youth sport arena, and running was really on the rise. The numbers of people participating in marathons has just been skyrocketing, and kind of taking with that and seeing running as a tool that can start with kids young, and it's a life sport they can carry through life, that they can be involved in with their parents. We took all that and we packed it into this curriculum and made something that accomplishes all of these things. When a coach opens up their coach manual, they are led from warm-up to some stretches to a character development issue that they're given a paragraph on that they can relate better to their participants, and then an exercise that takes them through exactly what to do from start to finish of the practice. And we received such positive feedback on that, not only from coaches but from coordinators who have happy coaches, which is a very good thing. So anyways, we then beta tested this curriculum on 6 sites around the country in the spring of 2011 and took some of their feedback. There were things like coaches wanted a running assessment at the beginning and at the end just to see how the kids had improved. So we added that into the curriculum. There were things like, you know what, our 8-year-old boys didn't enjoy things where they had to hold hands. So we took all those exercises out of the curriculum. So really tailored it to meet the needs of our coaches and you guys, the people who are running the program. Then we launched in the fall of 2011 and again have just received such positive feedback and so many happy stories of kids who have found something that they're good at and have increased self-esteem and can't wait to sign up for the next season, and kids who had been disengaged in all other sports that communities were offering and finally found in the off season, and this allowed them to train so they enjoyed baseball even more. And then finally we went into contract with the Army in December of 2012. So at this point we've had about 2,000 plus kids go through the program in the first year and a half and signed on with the Army to be on 150 U.S. Army sites around the world where all the kids will be participating in the program, which is just so exciting for us. And just a quote, this program added another dimension to our programming. It afforded us the opportunity to reach some children that were not interested in participating in any of our other programs. And that's kind of what I was saying with the last bullet point, is just that the hope of the program is to get as many kids running as possible. And running is something that we all can do, all kids can do. And that enables you to reach more people in your market. It enables us to be able to reach more kids in general. And just some details of the program. I'll take you through each of these links, which will show you a little snapshot of the curriculum that I keep talking about. And a few of you I know have already purchased some of these, so it might be review, but the coordinator manual, which is what you receive as the coordinator. And it's just a turnkey guide to get you from start to finish. So an introduction to the program, some of your responsibilities, the way the breakdown works, group sizes, recruiting a coach, promoting to participants, fundraising ideas, holding a registration, preparation, how to support, and then all of our information. And we work to be as approachable and helpful as possible throughout the process. So if you say to me, hey Casey, we're going to be launching, you know, June 24th, then I would love to come alongside and at the beginning of June reach out to your Park and Rec Association or a couple of your media outlets. We have a great communications department who write stories. So, you know, you let me know when you'd be launching or how there's also flyers that you can use. So you can go ahead and type in your information to promote to kids, and then, of course, a registration form. So that is really the first step in the program, and it just gives you the tools you need in order to run the program smoothly. And the next major step is the coach kit, and the coach kit is the 24-lesson curriculum as well as a t-shirt. So you can see actually the t-shirt on these kids here. There's a pink and a blue. And so at the beginning there's some responsibilities and expectations, table of contents, and then it dives right in, and each lesson is given a paragraph. So each lesson has some sort of talking point. So we're either talking about self-esteem or we're talking about taking care of ourselves. And just kind of a touch point with the coach to remind them where kids are at in the process of this topic in life. A warm-up, some stretches, and in the back there's a whole sheet of stretches that they can choose from. Some talking points to get conversations going, a starting jog, and then an exercise. Each day has an exercise that lasts from 35 to 45 minutes. Tells them exactly what they'll need, exactly how to operate the exercise. And then same for the cool down, some running, some stretches, some more talking points, and then each session also includes a goal setting time where we encourage the coaches to bring it up with the kids, and then as you'll see in a minute, the kids have a coordinating workbook where they can write the goal down and they can remember it, and it just coordinates along with what the coach has here to keep everybody on the same page. And really the participant workbook that we're about to look at is the take-home piece. So parents can see what the kids are working on. They can see just kind of the deal that's going on, what they're talking about, and be able to bring those points back up. So let's just scroll down to one other lesson. I'll just grab this next one here so you can get a feel for it. Okay, here we talk about obeying coaches, teachers, and other authority figures. Warm-up stretches, and here we're doing Simon Says relays. So most of what we have in the curriculum can be done on like a 25-yard by 25-yard, 50-yard by 50-yard space with minimal equipment, and all the equipment that we do recommend can be ad-lib. So if you don't have cones, you can use, you know, a coat sitting in one spot as an out-of-bounds area or whatever it is. Okay, so that's the coaches, and then I guess the final piece in the coaches manual. There's a yoga session in there. It's some articles for the coaches that serves as part of our training and dealing with the kids, but weather safety, the importance of injury prevention, hydration, injuries. So that's our coach manual. And then the participant kit, which again comes with that t-shirt and then an interactive workbook that coordinates along with the coach manual. And as you'll see here, we'll just start with healthy habits. A little something for the kid to read. Each day that they do it, they have an approximate accumulation of miles that they've run throughout the length of the program, which is just really fun to see. And after holding feedback sessions for the kids after the program, we heard a lot that I never thought I could run that many miles, and seeing that was just something that gave me so much confidence. And none of us really think we can run miles like that, but it's physical training, and when kids are able to see that they're able to accomplish that, it's really neat to see. Okay, so that's our participant workbook, and again, that comes with the t-shirt as well. Some childhood obesity facts, and I think it's no surprise to anyone just how apparent childhood obesity has become in our culture, and that's one of the main benefits of Ready, Set, Run, is just giving kids a lifelong tool that they can use in order to make better decisions and better their life. And on a total personal note, running is something that has just changed my life, and it's really what drove me to even begin these conversations with they can accomplish and lean into and gain confidence from is something I'm really passionate about. But anyways, the benefits of Ready, Set, Run. Generating revenue, like the title of this presentation. We charge $25, as you saw on the last slide, per participant. And we start with our 10 participant kit, which gets you, typically sites will order that first. It gets you 1 coach manual and 10 participant kits, and then you can hold your own registration, kind of refer back to the materials, and once you've held your registration, you know how many kids you're going to have, how many coaches you're going to have, you can place your subsequent order. So that's what a lot of sites opt to do. You also can just place your order after you've received your money from participants so that you're not putting out any cash before it's coming in. But anyways, at that $25 mark, you have the ability to charge whatever you would like and whatever is well received in your community. And we have some sites who've charged up to $100 per participant and used it to then bring other programming into their community. We have some who just charge $30 and say, you know, the extra $5 per participant will help cover our overhead. Whatever your prerogative is, we want to support you in doing that. And we have our $25 is really the lowest we can go as far as our printing costs and shipping costs and all that, but it gives you the tools you need in order to run it, and it gives you the opportunity to be able to generate revenue for your organization, your agency. With that, it also participation, because I know that's a money-making tool for a lot of our sites, is their 5K. And we've just heard time and time again that when they're either going to the media outlets saying, hey, we're going to have this many kids participating in our 5K, it creates a buzz about the program or about the race, and then they see increased participation. Or just the direct result of kids doing it, so their parents do it, so their friends and their friends' parents do it. It's another way to just increase the money that's coming into your agency. And we do have some sites that don't have an ongoing 5K or opt to do a private fun run for the kids, and that's wonderful as well. That's some of my favorite stories that come in are sites who have held a run for the kids and then invited parents and families to come along with. And there was one in particular that they held this race and all the families came out, and the last kid, he was coming up the last 200 yards. All the other kids went out and ran in with him, cheering him on, and it sounds like a movie, but then the football team was at a practice nearby, and they all kind of came over to the fence and started cheering for him as well. And it really affects the whole community, and you see not only the kids who are positively affected by it, but parents are pushing themselves to also compete in the 5K or in the fun run or as practice sessions throughout the week separate from our program. They're going for runs together outside and that sort of thing. Okay, our other bullet points: changing the lives of the kids in the community, reaching a different niche in the market, and I've kind of addressed this, but we hope to reach kids who have been disengaged in other sports, who thought that they weren't good at other sports, who maybe even couldn't afford to do other sports, and this has allowed them and can allow them to get back into the healthy lifestyle that they so need. We've even had, and then I'll stop with all my site stories, but we had one site down in Georgia who adapted the program for a couple of special needs kids. And there was one in particular, she was 17 years old and participated in the program and also met with a nutritionist. And just from the program and what is in our curriculum and her nutritionist, she lost 19 pounds over the 12 weeks of the program. And just the impact that it can have on her life is just outstanding. So some of the benefits of Ready, Set, Run. Some pictures from some of our sites. Practice, incorporating it in with your 5K and ending with medals. And then I guess that's that. I'll open it up to any questions.
Again, if anyone has questions for Casey, please just type those in. We'll keep the webinar on for a little while. You can also go to our website, which is nays.org. You can find more information about Ready, Set, Run and our other programs, as well as contact forms if you have questions that way. So again, we'll keep it open for a little while, but thank you very much. Thank you, Casey, and everyone have a great day. Thanks.